stories, but birds.
Chapter 1. A Curious Conundrum. In the heart of a bustling university, where ancient stone buildings whispered secrets of bygone eras, a young lady named Ria found herself utterly enchanted. Her brown hair danced like autumn leaves in the wind, and her big blue eyes were as curious as a cat in a new garden. Ria was studying neuroscience at the prestigious institution, yet it was the university's history that tickled her fancy like a feather on the nose. Ria had 3 friends who, unbeknownst to them, were about to be swept into an adventure as thrilling as a roller coaster ride through a library. Karina, with her fiery auburn hair and a wit sharper than a professor's tongue, was Ria's partner in crime. Then there was Lance, who was as tall and sturdy as an oak tree, and whose heart was as soft as a marshmallow left in the sun. And finally Reese, whose mind was a whirlwind of imagination, constantly dreaming up stories as wild as a fox in a henhouse. One blustery afternoon, as the clouds played hide and seek with the sun, Ria gathered her friends in the university's ancient library, where the books seemed to breathe with knowledge and the air was thick with dust and mystery. "Listen up, you lot," Ria began, her voice bubbling with excitement like a kettle on the boil. "Have you ever wondered about the secrets our dear old university is hiding?" Karina raised an eyebrow, a grin spreading across her face like jam on toast. "Oh, do tell, Ria, I'm all ears." Lance leaned back, crossing his arms with a twinkle in his eye. "I'm game. What have you discovered, oh wise one?" Reese, ever the dreamer, was already imagining hidden chambers and ancient scrolls. "I bet there's treasure involved," he mused. Ria leaned in, her eyes sparkling. "I found a map," she whispered, "a map that leads to a hidden part of the university. It's said to hold the key to unlocking the most remarkable secret of all." The words hung in the air like a spell, casting a net of intrigue around them. The 4 friends were now bound together by curiosity and the promise of adventure. With Ria leading the way, they embarked on a journey through winding corridors and creaky staircases. The university seemed to come alive around them, the walls whispering tales of old, the floors groaning under the weight of untold stories. As they ventured deeper, each step was a dance with destiny, each turn a possible revelation, and though none of them knew exactly what awaited, they felt the exhilarating pull of the unknown, like sailors drawn to the sea. Thus began their extraordinary escapade, one that would change the course of their lives and the very history of the university itself. And as they delved deeper into the mystery, they couldn't help but feel that the adventure was only just beginning.
Diamond stories, but birds ignite.
Chapter 2. The Map of Curiosity. The following day dawned with the promise of adventure, the sun casting its golden rays upon the cobblestones of the university like a painter splashing vibrant hues onto a blank canvas. Ria, with her infectious enthusiasm, had gathered her comrades at their usual haunt, a quaint cafe tucked away beneath the ivy-clad arches of the main building. It was a place where the aroma of freshly brewed coffee mingled with the scent of old books, creating an intoxicating atmosphere that lured students like moths to a flame. "Right, my intrepid explorers," Ria declared, brandishing the map like a magician revealing a powerful spell. "Today we shall unearth the secrets of this venerable institution." Karina, ever the pragmatist, leaned closer, her eyes narrowing in concentration.
Let's hope this map isn't one of those fanciful doodles, Ria. If it leads us to a broom cupboard, I shall be most vexed.
Lance chuckled, his deep voice resonating like a drum.
"If it does, we'll make it our secret hideout. Imagine, the Knights of the Broom Cupboard, guarding treasures untold."
His laughter was contagious, and soon the table erupted in giggles, the camaraderie shining brighter than the morning sun. Reese, who had been tracing the delicate lines of the map with his finger, suddenly looked up, his eyes alight with a spark of inspiration.
What if this leads to something truly remarkable? Perhaps a forgotten lecture hall where the greatest minds once gathered, or a botanical garden that holds plants thought extinct.
Or a secret library filled with books that could make even the most seasoned scholar weep with joy.
Ria added, her voice imbued with fervour. The very thought of hidden knowledge sent shivers down her spine. With their spirits buoyed and their imaginations ignited, the four friends set off on their quest, their hearts beating in synchrony like a well-tuned orchestra. The map guided them through the labyrinthine hallways, each corner revealing a tapestry of history, from portraits of stern-faced professors to dust motes dancing in the shafts of sunlight. As they reached the end of a particularly long corridor, the map led them to an unassuming door, worn with time yet standing resolute against the encroaching years. Ria's heart raced like a wild stallion. This was it, the threshold to the unknown. "Shall we?" Ria asked, her voice barely above a whisper, as if the very air held its breath in anticipation. With a collective nod, they pushed the door open, and a cloud of musty air enveloped them, rich with the scent of age and forgotten tales. Inside, the room was a treasure trove of curiosities, shelves brimming with tomes, their spines cracked and faded, a grand wooden desk littered with yellowed papers, and in the corner, a curious contraption that looked suspiciously like a time machine, though they knew better than to trust their imaginations too far. "Crikey, what a splendid mess!" Karina exclaimed, stepping further inside, her eyes wide with wonder. "It's like a scene from a Victorian novel." "Or a mad scientist's lair," Rhys added, his voice echoing off the walls. As they explored the room, Ria's gaze fell upon a peculiar journal, its cover embossed with intricate designs that seemed to shimmer in the dim light. She approached it with cautious reverence, as if it were a sleeping dragon. "Look here, friends," she called, her voice tinged with excitement. "This journal could very well hold the key to our next clue." With bated breath, they gathered around as Ria carefully opened the journal, revealing pages filled with elegant handwriting that danced across the paper like fireflies on a summer night. Each word was steeped in mystery, casting an enchanting spell over the four friends. And as they delved into the journal's secrets, they could not shake the feeling that they had stumbled upon something extraordinary, something that would irrevocably intertwine their fates with the very history of the university. Little did they know that their journey was only beginning, and the mysteries that lay ahead would test their friendships and challenge their understanding of the world around them.
Diamond stories, but birds ignite.
Chapter 3: The Journal of Jests and Jinxes. As the four friends huddled around the journal, its pages whispered tales of yore, each word a tantalizing morsel of intrigue that tickled their imaginations like a feather on the nose. Ria, her fingers trembling with anticipation, began to read aloud, her voice weaving a tapestry of excitement that enveloped them like a warm blanket on a chilly evening. "To whomever finds this journal," she intoned dramatically, her eyes sparkling with mischief, "know that you have stumbled upon a repository of secrets, riddles, and the occasional prank. For I, Percival P. Pumpernickel, was not just a mere student of this esteemed institution. I was its greatest trickster, the jester of academia." Karina snorted, nearly choking on her cappuccino.
Percival P. Pumpernickel. What a name! Sounds like a character from a children's book.
Or a fancy pastry,
Lance chimed in, his grin wide as a Cheshire cat's.
I can just imagine him prancing about in a tutu, throwing cream puffs at unsuspecting professors.
Ria continued, her voice a delightful mix of seriousness and humour. "During my tenure, I devised a series of jests that would make even the sternest of heads chuckle. From the great whoopee cushion incident of '94 to the enchanted elevator prank, which left students stuck between floors for a full hour." "Stuck?" Rhys erupted with laughter. "That sounds like a nightmare. Imagine being trapped with a bunch of over-caffeinated students. They'd start a book club just to pass the time." "Ah, but dear Rhys," Ria replied, her eyes gleaming with mischief. "The very essence of the prank was to foster camaraderie. Pumpernickel believed that laughter could bridge the chasms of intellect and elevate the mundane into the extraordinary." As Ria read on, the journal revealed a series of clues hidden within riddles, each one more perplexing than the last. "To find the next piece of this puzzle," she recited, "seek the place where knowledge blooms, where the whispers of scholars linger like the scent of roses in the air."
Sounds like a garden to me.
Karina exclaimed, her brow furrowed in thought.
But which one? There are so many around here, all blooming with knowledge and a side of pollen.
Perhaps it's the botanical garden by the physics building, Lance suggested, his enthusiasm bubbling like a soda can that had just been shaken. I heard they've got plants that can outsmart even the brightest student.
Or maybe it's the old herbarium, where the rarest specimens rest in glass cases waiting for their moment to shine,
Reese added, his imagination racing ahead like a rabbit escaping a hound. As they debated the merits of each location, Ria's finger traced the ornate edges of the journal, and suddenly she noticed a peculiar inscription at the bottom of the page. Beware the jinxes that may lurk within, for laughter can be a double-edged sword. Jinxes, Karina echoed, her eyes widening. What exactly does that mean? Are we talking about harmless pranks or something that could turn us into toads? Only one way to find out, Ria declared, her adventurous spirit ignited like a firework on bonfire night. We must visit the garden and see if Pumpernickel's jinxes are merely figments of his whimsical imagination or something far more sinister. With a collective nod that echoed with determination, the four friends set off toward the botanical garden, their hearts racing with a thrilling mix of curiosity and apprehension. As they ventured through the vibrant pathways, they couldn't help but revel in the beauty surrounding them. The flowers blossomed like confetti tossed in celebration, and the trees swayed gently as if dancing to a secret melody. But as they approached the garden's entrance, an eerie tension hung in the air, thick as treacle. Ria could feel the tingling of anticipation prickling at the nape of her neck. Remember, if we encounter any jinxes, she cautioned, her voice laced with playful seriousness, we must stick together, strength in numbers and all that.
Oh, absolutely.
Karina replied, her eyes twinkling with mischief.
And if we turn into toads, I call dibs on being the most glamorous one.
With laughter echoing like music, they stepped into the lush garden, unaware that their lives were about to entwine with the amazing legacy of Percival P. Pumpernickel, a legacy filled with laughter, jinxes, and perhaps a dash of chaos. Little did they know the intrigue of the garden would soon unveil itself in ways they could never have imagined, testing their wit and friendship at every turn.
Diamond stories, where birds ignite. From reports to diaries, our stories take flight. With vocabulary gems and plots so grand, we'll transport you to worlds across every land. Get ready to listen to stories to ignite your imagination, where each story